Toto Wolff reveals what he's spotted about Hamilton. Bottas, Leclerc and Vettel battle has won the last 2 world titles with ease, crushing the challenge of Ferrari and of his teammate Valtteri Bottas in the process. In 2018, the Brit finished a huge 161 points clear of the Finn, while a year earlier the gap was 58 points. Things appear set to be closer in 2019, with Bottas leading Hamilton by a point after 3 races of the season. On Saturday, Bottas outdrove Hamilton to take pole in qualifying, a result which Wolff felt showed a new trend on the grid. "What we're seeing are massive swings within the same team," he told Sky Sports. Valtteri was in a class of his own in Melbourne, he wasn't in Bahrain, and he came back here. The opposite is true for Lewis. And it's not just Ferrari where the turnarounds are happening. The same can be said for Ferrari pair Charles Leclerc, who finished 4th in qualifying, and Sebastian Vettel, who came home 3rd. "Look at Leclerc, it's the same," Wolff continued. "It looked like Leclerc was dominating Sebastian in Bahrain and everyone was speaking about the change of generation, and now Sebastian is the quicker guy." Bottas, 29, had never qualified on the front row in Shanghai in his 6 years as an F1 driver. But the Finn put that right on Saturday when he finished 0.023 seconds ahead of Hamilton to ensure he starts on the front of the grid for Sunday's race. "For Saturday it couldn't go any better," Wolff said. "It was exciting as between the cars there was not a lot. The Ferrari really squeezed it out at the end and I'm happy. I'm starting to see, after all these years, us making it through the corners, and the car looks really good in terms of downforce level. It's always a combination of drag and power, so we need to leave no stone unturned." Next news: Vettel defends qualifying overtake on Verstappen. Sebastian Vettel said he had no choice but to overtake Red Bull's Max Verstappen, or he would have missed his last flying lap in Q3 for the Chinese GP. As a long train of cars prepared for their final shot at pole, Vettel would move past the Dutchman, apparently told by Ferrari that he was running out of time to cross the line before the checkered flag. The move would ruin Verstappen's preparation as he returned to the pits along with teammate Pierre Gasly. Vettel would complete his flying wow, as did teammate Charles Leclerc, who jumped Verstappen into P4 on the grid tomorrow. Speaking to the media in Shanghai, Vettel said, "Obviously everybody timed it around the same, so we all left for the same spot. If you were at the end of the train, which I was, then it was quite difficult. When the team told me we only had 10 seconds margin to cross the line in time to make another attempt, I had to think of something. I don't know if the others were not told. If everyone would have speed up the way I did, then we should have all made it. But I obviously prioritized at that point to make the lap. It felt like others were not aware." Verstappen was far from pleased with the German's actions, saying such moves screw up your entire run-up. Next news: Vettel gets annoyed with Perez's Force India. Sebastian Vettel still isn't fully acquainted with the teams on the Formula One grid, while Lewis Hamilton went for a spin in China. Here is how the first practice day unfolded, and Formula One marked an incredible milestone in Shanghai on Friday as the 1000th Grand Prix weekend got underway with FP1. The drivers celebrated the occasion with new helmet designs, with the Renault drivers winning the prize for their retro looks. Romain Grosjean says his design doesn't pay tribute to past drivers or past events, but it is one he's very proud of and will look back on fondly. "We're also loving it." Renault have an updated MGU-K here this weekend, with Nico Hülkenberg revealing they have redesigned the part after failures in Australia for Carlos Sainz and in Bahrain for both Renault worksmen. The FIA confirmed new MGU-Ks for Hülkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris. Also new engine, turbo and MGU-H for Hülkenberg. Lance Stroll had the first incident of the session as he burned rubber at the final corner. He reported to Racing Point that his tires were cold. Mercedes were sitting 1-2 after the first 40 minutes of play with Lewis Hamilton 43s up on Valtteri Bottas. But as many expected, when all was said and done, it was Sebastian Vettel who was quickest of all. Using the medium tires, he clocked a 1:33.911 to beat Hamilton by 0.207s despite the Mercedes driver running the faster soft tires. Vettel was also 10 kph faster than Hamilton in the speed trap. Antonio Giovinazzi was all dressed up but with nowhere to go as his Alfa Romeo suffered a loss of power. He covered just 2 laps at the start of the session before sitting out the rest while his mechanics worked on his car. Meanwhile, as part of the 1000th race celebrations, there was a very special moment for Damon Hill as he took his father's iconic, title-winning car out for a spin. After that blast from the past, it was back to the present with FP2. Hamilton didn't get off to the best of starts, spinning on his out lap. Not seeing any track action in the opening stages of FP2 was Toro Rosso's Daniel Kvyat, with Honda performing their first engine change of the season after spotting anomalies in their data. In what was a rather low-key quali sim run with Hamilton and Leclerc not able to set any representative times, Bottas topped the afternoon timesheet after he pipped Vettel. But we cannot end without mentioning Vettel's dig at the Force India car which was holding him up during his race sim run. Meow. Next news: Bottas claims he was lucky to get Chinese GP pole. Valtteri Bottas believes he got a bit lucky in claiming pole for the Chinese Grand Prix after struggling to put a clean lap together. The Finn would claim his 7th career pole, getting the better of teammate Lewis Hamilton by just 23s to complete a front-row lockout for Mercedes. Despite a 3/10 gap back to the Ferraris, Bottas claimed to struggle throughout the final stage of qualifying, but was delighted with pole nonetheless. "It's been a good weekend so far for me," he told reporters in Shanghai. "Now starting from pole position. I felt already really confident this morning, in FP3. In qualifying, I honestly struggled a bit in Q3 to get the perfect lap, but it was good enough. The lap was okay, like I said, not completely how I wanted. Luckily it was good enough for pole. The car has been really good this weekend." Lewis also managed to improve a lot during the qualifying and it was super close. Obviously tomorrow is the big day, but at least on single lap performance it's been competitive. As a team we've been super strong. Pierre Gasly is the only driver in the top 6 who will start the race on soft tires, after both Mercedes and Ferrari drivers, along with Max Verstappen, set their fastest laps in Q2 on the medium so they could start on that compound. Bottas believes the mediums are the right choice, due to the poor lifespan of the softs in race conditions. The thing here is that the soft tire is, on a very high-speed track, there are long corners that put a lot of load on the tires, so the soft degrades more during the lap, even in just one lap, he revealed. So the soft might be a lot quicker at the beginning of the lap, but by the middle of the lap, it's already slower. That's why there's not a massive time difference between the two. I think tomorrow, as normal, the mediums will be a better tire after a few laps. That's usually the case, but that's something we'll find tomorrow. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.